Hey there, 7th and 8th graders. I'm here to point out to you a couple things that will make playing this Dynamite Part A little bit easier, and also stuff that when you're practicing, they'll make it more musical. Now, if you're like, what song is this? I don't know. It's this one. I'm sure you've heard this song before. I use it a lot when we do our mouthpiece jams.
I came to dance. I hit the floor 'cause...
Sorry. Getting a little bit groovy there. Alrighty, so first thing I want to point out is this thing right here, this measure. You can see that 2 of these notes have accents on them, so those 2 notes need to be more special than all the others. What you don't want to do, though, is you don't want it to make it sound like there's a stick of dynamite in your instrument when you do the accents. That's disgusting, okay? Your reed is getting out of control when you're doing that, or your lips would be getting out of control. So I did that because I tongued too hard. Accents come from your tummies. They come from here, from your bellies. So those make better accents. So when you perform that, make sure you make it sound like that. Let me erase this. I want to point out another thing. How about this measure right here? Measure 12. Most people are going to be performing this incorrectly. They're probably going to make them all staccato like this. But you can see there are actually only 2 staccatos on here. That is all, just 2. These 2, right there. So the 4 notes before it need to be smooth. Alrighty, so make sure when you get to those measures, you make them sound like that. You obviously know how to perform staccatos just fine, so I'm not even going to bother talking about measure 13 through 16, how to play those. Just so you know, if you're wondering, like, why in the world don't I have the melody right here? That seems pretty easy. Well, that's because part B has the melody, and I'll be giving you those parts later, so that when we put these songs together, where we could you get to choose which song you want to play, and then I'm going to combine the parts all together, and you will get to hear part A, pass it off to part B. All right, let me jump ahead. I didn't erase something. What's going on? There we go. All right, now I'm going to jump ahead to this thing right here. You're probably looking at that wondering, that's a lot of weird black ink on my page. How do I play that? Well, you play it like this. 1, 2, ready, and... Now, that rhythm is super fun. That's actually the rhythm that people really, really like, that make it sound really, really cool and danceable, all right? It's because this is actually the only note that lines up with your toe hitting the ground. Every other time, for those other 2 notes, my toe is in the air, so that's called a syncopation, and that's what makes it so fun. It's not the beat, which everyone says. Usually when people say why they like a song, they say, it's got a cool beat. Well, this song doesn't have a cool beat. It's just got doom, chick, doom, chick, doom, chick, doom, chick. And that doesn't sound very fun to me, okay? So it's these cool syncopated rhythms that are really danceable. So when you get to this part, very few notes will actually line up with your toe hitting the ground. All right, so I'm going to play for you what it sounds like at measure 25 with the pickup. So I'm actually going to start right there on those notes. And 1, 2, 3. All right, sorry I had to stop clicking there. I can't do it all with just one hand, and the squeak happened because of that. All right, so that's what makes that part so fun, is all those cool syncopated rhythms. I'll be back later on to tell you how to play some of these things that come up later on. So don't worry about that. If you're like, hey, wait a minute, you missed out on telling us some stuff, I'll tell you about it later. I didn't want to make this video too long. Now, one thing that you can do is I have included, in addition to this stuff, I've included some backing tracks, okay? Some of that thing keeps showing up, and it's freaking me out. Why? I erase it. Why won't it go away? Stay away. No one likes you. All right. So I've included some backing tracks. One of them is just part A. So if you click on it, you'll hear just this part being played. 1, 2, 3. is something that'll help you learn part A all by itself. Since we can't be together and I'm not there to help you out with your individual thing, I think this will work out. There's also a second track that I've included for you that is the actual song Dynamite by Tal Cruz that has been transposed to a key that you can actually play with. So you could either play with that part A track, or you can play with the real track like this. Dancing is optional. Encouraged.
I came to dance, 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 dance. I hit the floor cause that's my plans, 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 plans. I'm wearing all my favorite brands, 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 brands. Give me space for both my hands.
All right. So there's two different ways you can practice it. One that helps you learn the rhythm, and that second one, which is a little bit more fun because you get to play it along with the real song. Okay. So there you go. Those will be those parts for part A. And later on, you'll have to choose which song you would like to perform as your big final test. You'll record the entire thing, and then I'll take all those parts and I'll combine them together. So it's like we're actually still playing together in band class, even though we're all quarantined and separated. Okay, so good luck to you guys on learning this. If you got questions, feel free to email me, or we can set up a video chat if you want. And I'm going to stop talking because this is probably pretty boring, me talking. All right, so bye, guys. See you later.